Her father put a recording device in her hair, catches teacher in the act. Every day after school, Tomas Valero would see his young daughter crying, and he knew something was very wrong. When he finally got to the bottom of the problem, he couldn't believe what had been going on. He had to do something sneaky, but the truth had to come out. Starting school is never easy for any child. They need all the possible support from their parents to make this huge adjustment. It doesn't matter how good a teacher is, it's always a scary time for a child. In this difficult time, it is even worse for a child if they face a very strict or mean teacher. When it was clear that his daughter was having difficulty at her school, he knew he had to discover the cause. Every parent wants nothing but the best for their child, and it's normal to worry about your children if they are in pain. Tomas was no different, and he grew increasingly worried as his daughter clearly struggled. His daughter became increasingly emotional after starting school. Tomas assumed that it was simply nerves related to school, but as it just got worse over time, he knew there was something more to it. More and more often, she would cry and beg to stay home from school until it was a part of the daily routine. Tomas was understandably worried about this. It kept getting worse until Tomas could no longer handle it. Days turned to weeks and weeks to months. All the excitement and joy seemed to be gone from his daughter, and she seemed to grow increasingly scared of going to school. It got so bad that she soon didn't want to go to school at all. Being a concerned parent, Tomas tried to find out what was wrong. He talked to his daughter, but she refused to tell the truth. Tomas knew he couldn't leave things like that. He knew that he couldn't keep seeing his daughter like this. Tomas's daughter was going to the Pine Grove Elementary School's kindergarten. Tomas had never noticed any problems with his daughter. She always seemed to be a friendly, happy, healthy girl who was creative and easily made friends. Tomas noticed that the change in his daughter started once she started at the new school. This was when she became emotional and upset. Tomas began wondering about what was causing it. Could it be the school, or the children, or even a teacher? Until this all happened, his daughter had been doing well in school. She got good grades, not to mention the reports about her had been positive for the most part. All the same, a couple of months after she had started going to this school, her grades started slipping. To top it off, she would get emotional before as well as after school. What was happening? It became too much for Tomas to see his little girl act like this. He felt so powerless. However, he knew all the same that it was time to get to the bottom of the situation. We're sure any parent would feel worried about the well-being of their child. It was hard seeing his daughter be sad so often. He was beginning to get more and more worried about her. The more he tried finding out what was wrong, the more the little girl shrank away. That's when he realized what could be going on. He thought about it a lot. Then he came to the conclusion that she must be getting bullied by one of her classmates, or even by one of her teachers. They had a stable and happy family at home, so he knew that couldn't be it. It's very important to be patient. It might even be one of the most important virtues we can all learn, even if it's difficult to practice. When it comes to teaching small kids, this becomes that much more valuable. If you ever had to deal with kids, then you know how hard they can be to handle. As an educator, patience is part of the job requirement. His daughter was still so young. She was in her formative years, meaning that she was in a crucial and important time of her life. What happens during this time of her life will mold her into the adult she will be in the future.